Okay. I would like to say hello to everyone who is joining our brilliant show today. Why am I saying show? Because it will be half webinar, half show, half entertaining session, half Q&A session, and I hope that we will achieve one goal that I do have in mind. We will focus on you, and we will focus on how you achieve success in the agentic era. We are talking about the new era 2025, where everyone literally is talking about agents. Today, I will explain to you what agents are, but I will not focus in this particular webinar on the technology and the types of agents. I will be talking about something that no one is talking about yet. I mean, how to make a career choices in this era of agentic AI. So this is kind of different question. It's not a question about how to build them. We will probably have a couple of webinars on that as well, because this is a very hot topic, and we will focus on no coding. But I think that the most important thing is how to make something out of that for you. Whether this is a career choice, whether this is money, whether this is like opportunities to grow, whatever you have in mind, agentic era gives you that amazing opportunity. Why? Because this is another breakthrough. We are talking about a moment in time when finally AI becomes productive, when we have a technology that is changing how the industries work. And what has happened and what is actually going on here nearby in San Francisco at the NVIDIA conference is just confirming what I'm saying now. I would like to say hello to all of you. My name is Maria Parish. I will introduce myself in a moment. I have a couple of slides on that. And today I'm talking to you from sunny California, from like somewhere nearby Los Angeles. So not at the GTC conference. I'm working here from LinkedIn office. Because we are recording additional courses that, of course, like within a couple of months, we'll share with you as well. Without further ado, because I have so much to tell you, so many interesting things, up to date, very latest stuff. And actually, I'm pleased to say that what NVIDIA is saying now, I mean, during their conference, is confirming what we'll be discussing today. So prepare your questions also, because today's session first will be some insights from my end, some information, some good practices, and also suggestions to you how you should build your career in agentic AI. What is that and how to prepare for that? And also later on, we'll have a session of Q&As. So prepare your questions. You can write them on chat. And later on, after we finish with the presentation, I'll touch on and answer all the questions you have. So I will stay as long as you need. If you have any questions on agent, or maybe on any other topic within AI field. Okay, once again, welcome. Stay with us. We are recording this session, so if at any time you will need to jump off to a meeting, don't worry, we'll send you the recording later on. Once again, warm welcome, and let's start with our presentation. Okay, let me find a presentation that I've prepared for you. I hope you can see it. Okay. I hope you do see it. Okay. Yes. So, success. We are talking about agentic AI careers, right? So we are going. We are taking a step further, right? And we will be focusing on non-coders. So, obvious career choice to build agents and to build them with code. I will not even touch on that because it's too basic. You can become a developer, obviously, and start building them, but it's like more interesting question is how people who are not within, they do not specialize in coding, how for them prepare their career paths. It will be absolute pleasure and honor if you connect with me. And actually, because of that, you will join thousands of people that learn from us, that learn from me, all over the world. And I have two surprises for you. Two good news at the very beginning. You can access my you can access my course, and it can be a free access if you want, if you send me a direct message on LinkedIn. If we are not connected, no worries, you can just scan this QR code and we can connect, and just drop me a message that you would like access to this course. This is a course for more than 4 hours long, super basics, I would say, but very practical ones for non-coders. This is a very good intro if you are just starting your journey in AI. And the course is actually quite popular and is getting very good reviews, more than 4.8 stars, which is kind of good. And I strongly advise you to take the course if you haven't already. And also, we do have some free access tokens for you to LinkedIn Premium. The only thing you need to do is you need to send me a direct message within the next 24 hours using this past webinar. Just send that, and among people who send this information, this pass to me, we will draw some names, and we'll share with you the free LinkedIn Premium access that gives you access to all the courses. So it's definitely worth checking out. Okay, cool. So, guys, you already know that I work with LinkedIn, but you don't know most probably that most of the time I'm in Toronto, where I do teach, I live, I run my businesses, but not only there. We are also active in Europe and in the Middle East and in Dubai. Yes, I travel quite frequently here to California, mostly to work with LinkedIn Learning. I'm their official instructor. And what they tell about me, what they say about me, is I'm this passionate teacher. It's my hobby, guys, right? And out of hobby, we created a very successful business. But this business is not based on just passion, but also on a very concrete piece of experience that we do have from more than 100 AI projects completely delivered, because one of my companies is actually a software delivery, software building, software delivery company. What I'm famous for, together with Google and Kaggle, we built the largest community of data scientists in the world, which is over 20 million strong. When I do have time, I teach at universities, at colleges. Also, when I have time, I write books, and I'm very proud to work with United Nations and in terms of AI safety, AI ethics. I do believe that we need to give back to society on the basis of what we know, and I do know that AI is super powerful, extremely powerful tool. We need to be careful about that, because again, as we say, with power comes great responsibility. And with agentic AI, we are getting even more power. And what I want to focus now on is not only on agentic AI as a technology, but mostly on AI careers. I promised you in the description of this webinar that I will share with you some success strategies, but also I will comment on how AI can benefit companies, right? But I do think that such not connected topics might be a bit difficult to follow. So for the next 45 minutes, let me focus on a very specific pieces of information and AI world that you must be absolutely aware of. To get AI success, you actually need three things only. It's a lot, but on the other hand, if you know them, it's quite easy to follow them. So first thing that you need to know to be successful in AI is where money flows. So then you can, let me say, predict what you should do with your career, because you know which part of AI, which part of the AI world activities, businesses would grow, right? The second thing that is quite important for people to understand is their AI career options, because it's not like you need to be a developer or just a manager. There are so many options for your AI career that for many people are underappreciated because they are not aware of them. And the third thing that is required for AI success, the last but not least, is to know the success strategies, the fast track strategies, the best, right, are the best. So how to get there faster than others. So with money flows, we are spotting the moment, we are spotting the place for us. With career option, we know what we should do in this place for us to grow. And the third thing, how to do it before others grab this opportunity. So we'll start with a couple of elements, and we'll go point by point. So first, we'll discuss where money flows, then career options for today, and career track strategies as well. It will be very fast, and I am absolutely sure that it will be interesting, because I didn't find this material anywhere else. It's not taken from books, it's taken from our experience, especially on this market, American and Canadian. Okay, so with agentic AI, many people say that this is a buzzword, right? So we are not experiencing any particular revolution. Some say that it brings real value. I do believe that it's somewhere in the middle, right? So on one hand, yes, we are using it. Uh, Not in the right way, let me say. So it is a buzzword, but on the other hand, agents are bringing real value to companies. What real value, I will tell you in a moment. So it's not like what I want to establish right now is that we will not be commenting on AI agents, whether it exists or not. It exists, guys. It is here. It is being confirmed, and it's bringing real value to companies. And with agents, it's we might say that this is like a peak, like a ultimate moment where we finally can make the most of AI, the AI elements that we already do have around us, right? But it's not like agents are something new. Agents are a combination, mm, like connected elements into a sensible stream of value from AI, Gen AI, LLMs that we did have before. And this connection between elements into a coherent system that brings value and can substitute for people working on certain positions, this is revolution. Because before that, before agents came, we had to do stuff in a non-coherent way, right? So we were copying from one LLM to another to a recommendation system, and then we needed to draw conclusions on our own. This is inconvenient, right? So with agents, we finally have this connection of systems that can trigger each other. So the outcome of one system can become an input to the second system, so on and so forth. And you can build your own agent. So you can design the process in such a way that you use the existing AI elements. This is kind of important because we are using existing AI, Gen AI, LLM elements into a coherent process. And what does it give us? It gives us the flexibility, because like once you understand that agents are not set, I will comment on different types of agents in a moment, so you exactly know what I mean. It's like with agents, you can, once you understand that they are made of blocks, right? It's a process of a kind, a sequence of steps that you build, you design that, you know that you can connect into those agents literally anything, right? Because it's not preset, it's not A agent, B agent, see agent and any agent that someone else designed for you. Of course, they exist and you will be buying such agents from companies. I will show you a couple of examples later, but you can design them as you want. So finally, you can recreate the processes in your organization exactly as they are now with agents. So we are substituting for people and their job as it's being currently done. And this is very powerful. So again, it's not only LLMs that you connect into agents. You can connect anything that you want. You can connect even a system that is not AI at all. It can produce stuff for you. You can do the sequence where you have some kind of sorting. Let me give you an example, some examples in a moment. But I'm showing you this slide. Rakesh did it very well. He's mentioning that it's like agentic AI. It's like an iceberg, right? So we can see just the top where we can see an actual AI agent, but below there's like infrastructure and connections and security and orchestration and models and of course databases, data, and finally hardware. So why am I showing you that? Because I don't want to scare you. I don't want to tell you that it's so difficult. No, guys, I'm telling you that with the rise of agents, the business here is bigger than just a couple of frameworks that we see and a couple of products that are over there. We are talking about huge market that will need to be addressed by people and by companies who would be investing in agents. So the market is huge and is waiting for someone to grasp it. So let's start with where money flows. You remember three things: where money flows, and also the other elements, so careers and how to do it before others. So where money flows, let's look at what's going on right now, and you will exactly know what I mean. So you know that probably you're aware of that. If not, make sure that you check some material that later on I can share with you on the very important conference by NVIDIA that is happening now here in California. And yesterday there was a keynote speech. There was a keynote speech by Jensen Huang, and you should, if you want this link, I can later on share it with you. And it's like minute after minute updates that Jensen was sharing with us. What he announced is like, wow, it's mind blowing. He's confirming robots, he's confirming agents, he's confirming big data centers with millions, guys, millions of GPUs working at the same time. But he's also, of course, confirming what they have done with robots, with Project Groot, and it's definitely worth checking. But he's what I want to focus now is that he's confirming the agentic future. And not only, I will just briefly skip it, skip through the information that I prepared for you. I will not dig deeper. You can check it on later. We within the last 2-3 weeks we got the latest model Ernie by Baidu. The Chinese are decreasing costs, so it's kind of important because finally it's available for we might say almost everyone. It's very strong. Also revelations from Gemini, I mean from Google. And finally, we have the flash models and thinking models for free, so you can use them. And of course, we get some new updates, including AI generated podcasts, voice. Is super powerful tool. But of course, abusing it is not a problem. The problem is how to make it secure. Remember, this is the first thing that people use it for, playing with images and removing watermarks from images. We'll see how long it will last. But yes, we are experiencing a completely new world where AI rules, and whoever knows how to use the AI is kind of ahead of others. Of course, not to mention Manus, that has brought another revelation, and we might say a small revolution after, of course, announcement of DeepSeek. People are using it, and they are doing amazing stuff with that. Then Quen, extremely powerful reasoning model on the basis of the previously released Chinese model, but of course, obviously, in English, worth checking. And the rise of reasoning models. With reasoning models, we have so many to choose from, and it started in in late fall. And since then, we got so many reasoning models, so models that are smarter than a standard LLM. How does it work? So with Sonnet is actually one of the examples. So with reasoning models, it works in loops. So instead of just giving you one answer, it kind of creates a scenario how this particular task or a question could be assessed and how it could be performed, and later on it does it step by step and summarizes the answer for you, of course, including search, including the deep thought analysis. So yes, Claude is one of the examples, and for now it's one of the strongest, if not the strongest model for coding. We also got Mistral, right, with OCR. So we have very strong models that are substituting for the business tools that we used to know. But for me, the main breakthrough of the last weeks was using human cells to build a biological computer. And like while we are discussing at the NVIDIA conference on more and more GPUs, right now here we are discussing with this achievement, we are finally discussing that we might change the technology into the one that is simulating human brain. And of course, not to mention, I couldn't not to mention robots and home robots. Robots here with figure one, that two robots are doing work for us, and they can solve our problems, including sorting stuff, our groceries that they've never seen. And yes, of course, we do have our kung fu bot, and it's of course it's not only that. Let me share with you. I do hope that it will work and you will be able to see that. If not, let me just stop sharing for a moment, because I'm not sure if you can see it. Just give me a second. Okay, cool. Yes. Okay. Now you'll be able to see it. Just very briefly, let me show you what impressed me. It's like we do have the lady is trying to teach the robot how to dance, right? And the robot is repeating her moves, and she's like teaching the robot a specific sequence, right? Specific sequence. And look what will happen. What will happen in a moment? She's like adding some acts, and you will see the effect. So the robot would be dancing together with people, and with humans, and it would be in almost complete unison. And that's amazing, because like this is exactly what Jensen, I mean, NVIDIA CEO, is commenting on. We are right now, we are entering an era where we will be teaching the robots and agents through agentic systems. We would be teaching the robots to to do stuff for us exactly as we want it, right? So again, when you are thinking about agentic AI, it's not just the computer stuff. I mean, not the I mean like the software stuff that you do in a not physical world. We are talking about extending robots. I mean, extending agents into robotic world. So connecting agents that you can design on your own with robots. So the physicality, right? It can be a humanoid, but it doesn't have to be. And you steer your robot exactly as you want, and the robot is doing whatever you need, right? And we are at this step where we are just almost there. Right now we are learning how to steer the software, so how to do agents, and this is 2025. But in 2026 or 2027, when we will have robots at home or at work, we will be able to design them exactly in the same way, non-coding, very easy. And yesterday or 2 days ago, a Chinese company, the one from the one with Kung Fu robot, they dropped the robot and it costs $40,000. Of course, I understand that this is like the price of a car, but yes, in time, in a very short time, it will probably go down significantly. Okay, guys, coming back to my presentation, because I have so much. Oh my God, so much to tell you. So many interesting things. If you didn't check Grok, the model, the version unhinged, you should definitely do that, because the model can roast you in quite an interesting way. And yes, it happened quite lately that finally we can type with our mind. So we don't need voice. The voice interfaces is one thing, but you have already the brain interface. So with brain you can type. So once you can type, you can also steer the computer, you can steer the robot, you can steer any software. And I wouldn't be myself if I would not highlight the current situation between America and China with quantum. Remember, when we are discussing GPUs and the fight for chips and the chips war between China and States, we are talking about quite oldish technology. While we should be looking, because like again, everyone wants GPU now, but what you should be looking at is quantum, because this is the next technology that Nvidia has. So of course they are not selling it like in large numbers, because they are profiting now from the older technology, and they want to sell as many GPUs obviously as possible. But we should look forward. So you should, if you don't know what quantum is, you should definitely check it out. And what is without any doubt, what is happening now is that not only there is war between countries and there is war between companies to be the first in AI, and people usually cannot follow. They are saying it's too much. It's so confusing. But what I want to say, that on one hand, it is confusing and there is a lot. And if you have any doubt that there are people that there are some people like a limited group that understands everything, no, it's not possible. So it's like all people have the same capabilities. Maybe they're more up to date, but right now with AI world, everyone has this imposter syndrome, and everyone knows that they are not catching up with AI, because you can't. So I will share with you a couple of ways how to actually do it. Anyway, coming back to to my main thought. So on one hand, there is a lot of confusion around AI, but on the other hand, it's a gold rush. So guys, investments that are pumped now into AI are enormous. We are talking about the in 2030, so quite in 5 years, that the market would be as big as e-commerce, and it will get to $16 trillion. I do think that this it's a very shy estimate. So AI, there is money in there, and we are talking about real money, not money in 5 years. We are talking about concrete investments done, for example, and such as announced by American government, right? So again, 500 billion dollars. Then we are talking 40 billion just into OpenAI, and most probably their valuation will go even more up in Europe. Yes, we are talking about billions of euros, guys. We are not even discussing millions. We are talking billions. Ilya Sutskever, you probably know, he was one of the guys that was leading OpenAI, and once he left OpenAI, he started his startup. No one knows what they are doing. They're just dropping hints that they are working on something that will lead us to AGI or even ASI, so artificial general intelligence or artificial super intelligence, right? And his startup, believe it or not, is now worth $30 billion, even though he didn't show anything that they have. Nothing. So yes, you're if you think that we are pumping the bubble, yes we are, but the bubble, some say, is very far and ahead of us to burst. So still, it's a very smart career choice, because many VCs and investors are putting their money. If they are like have, for example, two different startups, they will always choose the one with AI. Look at that. And in the last quarter of 2024, half of the investments that were done, more than half actually, were done into AI. And it doesn't look like it's gonna stop, because we don't have another, let me say, another hypish thing to follow. So like when I ask, okay, with this amount of novelties, are you ready? And most people say, oh, I'm not. I don't know what's going on. No worries, you're in a very good hands. And I have good and bad news at the same time for you. Most people are not ready. And you might say, oh my God, I'm one of them. I don't know what's going on. But on the other hand, all the other people that I do know, except for the ones that are very deep into AI, they are not catching up. So it's like an equalizer, right? So if everyone is in the same situation, we might say, so whoever gets there first and gets ahead of others, they gonna win. So it's like if majority of people are not yet in AI, you have a very high chance of succeeding. So where money flows, we did cover it a bit, but let me show you exactly what companies are right now missing and what they are investing their money in and what they are willing to pay for. So where money flows, the first thing is advisory. So companies right now, they want to do AI transformation. They don't know how. And they come to us and they ask us for help, and they say, we don't know a thing about AI. We have like our data is mess. We heard that we need to do something with the data. We don't know, like, can you do AI transformation in 3 months? And guys, probably some of you know that AI transformation is a process of at least 2 years in an organization. What means is that the world needs advisors for particular industries to help companies go through this process of transformation. And also, with the number of products that right now are being produced are being available on the market, is very easy to fall into the trap of choosing the first and the most let me say popular one. It's not the best strategy. So choosing between products that are there, it's a kind of a challenge. And many companies, almost 90% here in States, they declare investments in AI, but almost 50% They say that they are not entirely sure what the impacts would be and how to implement AI. So they definitely need help. And the level of help they need depends also on AI level of AI maturity that they have at the moment. And there is research saying that majority of companies right now are at the level 1, maybe 2. We are not even discussing 3. So at level 1 and level 2, those companies, they need to hire, they need to do rearrange their data, they need to have like certain steps given and advised by someone, so probably and hopefully by you, within certain industry, how to make the most of AI. And yes, with the products that I mentioned at the platform, on the platform, there is an AI for that. There is more than 32,000 solutions, AI solutions. Some of them are agents that you can use within your company. How do you pick that? How do you choose that? It's almost impossible, right? If you are not in this particular area. So advisory on products, which products you choose to solve this particular problem in the company is one of the most profitable business right now. And with more than 1 million models available on Hugging Face, it becomes a challenge to make it work for companies. And also remember that people who advise companies what to do with AI, they are also advising how to make the most of it. I mean, how to make it profitable. And one of the ways to make profit on AI is also layoffs. And I'm not saying that necessarily companies need to lay off people to make money on AI. Absolutely not. But for example, Klarna did that. Klarna released 700 people. Instead, they engaged 700 agents, and everyone was waiting for their outcomes, financial outcomes at the end of 2024, and they have proven, at least this is what they published, is their financial effectiveness has risen by 57%. Of course, devil is in the detail. How did they count it? Yes, of course, we can discuss, but undoubtedly, this worked. So most probably other companies would be willing to learn how they done it and how the company can save as much money. And many people don't know that. So let me just show you something. I think you might like it. Okay, it's the job impact index, and there is an AI for that. So guys, there is an AI for that. It's a very cool platform. They came up with their own way of assessing which job positions, will be most impacted by AI, right? And it's not like which positions will be removed by AI. No, 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 no. It's like which positions will be most enhanced by AI. Meaning, they took all the products that they have on their platform and they checked for whom those products might be most useful. And look at that. We have communication manager, tasks 365, AI, so AI products available here on there is an AI for that, more than 5,000. So again, if you look at communication manager or any kind of any other job position, and you see that there are so many AI tools that they can use, obviously this particular job position will change because either the communication manager will start using the tools which will limit the number of people, obviously, within the certain specialization, or completely they will rearrange how communications when managers work and get to the level where majority of work is will be done by AI agents. Look at that: data collector, mail clerk, data entry, compliance officer, CEO. Actually, there's a pretty nice number of AIs that can support CEOs and managers, therapists, chief strategy officers, so on and so forth. I suggest even though this is very early work. So I wouldn't be very picky. I'm not saying, oh, this is stupid. No, no, just look at that. Take your time, look at the list. And for me, the most surprising thing was the number of tools that those job titles, job positions can actually already use. So coming back to our presentation, the thing that also people do not appreciate is AI security. But let me come back to that in just a moment. I want to share with you what I do have here for where the money flows. The second thing is implementations in companies, because companies not only need to know which product to choose and how to conduct the transformation, but also how to implement those products and agents also in their organizations. And they are looking for people. Mass demand on the market right now for implementation, but those implementations, they are not that easy to be done. I will tell you one strategy in a moment how to approach that, because like not everyone can, for example, do implementations in banking or in finance or in health, right? You need to have a background in that. The third thing that companies are after is fine tuning. Right? With fine tuning, we are taking a model that is available somewhere there. We are adding the data that is selecting first, data that we want from inside the organization, and we blend it with one of the tools available on the market. So we don't need to build it from scratch, but still, because of fine tuning, the company gets the advantage of having the model um, speak in your language or have the data that you have internally, right? So it becomes kind of like your specific AI, and companies don't know how to do it. To give you an example, one of the companies I talked to lately, they wanted RAG architecture. RAG architecture. So one of the basic fine tuning strategies, quite important right now. Quite easy to be done. We teach it on our courses, and you can do it. I wouldn't say over a weekend, but you can definitely do it in like what, 2-3 weeks. We are not talking months. And one of my friendly companies, they asked me, I couldn't do it for them, so they asked one of the competitors, and the competitors told them that it will be a 4-month long project to install RAG, and it will cost more than $100,000. And I was amazed. It's like, how can you take so much money for such an easy job? So where was he, like, what was the problem here? The company that wanted to hire another company, I mean the developers, right, didn't know the value and the time of how long it takes to develop this kind of solution. So because there is this gap in knowledge, there is many companies that are making taking advantage of that. And the fourth thing that companies are willing to pay for now, I'm talking now, is agentic AI, because they heard about agents. They don't know how this is done. They don't know which frameworks to choose. They are not aware that they could do it no code, and they're just going for large platforms. In a moment, I will explain to you agentic AI in a couple of simple examples, so you will know what is there and what you can propose to companies. And I promise that I will come back to that, because in an instant let me say money that is over there, instant success is also AI security. Look at that. This is information that is not, let me say, it's public, but it's not that popular. Look at Palantir Technologies. They are on stock market, and they went from what, $20 a year ago. This like a year ago. I took it yesterday, and up to they of course they went over 100. Now they are somewhere over here at $83. So yeah, this is their growth of for the last year. And what is the company about? The company is doing secure large stuff for governments, but also they, from the beginning, they were taking care of AI security, and will be one of the key pieces of the puzzle, especially for AI agents. Because remember, with AI agents, you are when you are connecting the tools that I mentioned, you are giving access. You must give access to AI that is steering those tools. So let me use an example. You want an AI to analyze the email that is getting into your mailbox. You want to, or like complaint that is getting by any of the channels into your company. You want LLM to analyze what the email or the question is about, then select the right path and send this particular question to a certain path, starting, for example, analysis, then the decision, and finally you want the LLM to write an email to this person that sent the question automatically, and automatically it should write it should do the draft in your mailbox of an email that you would like to send, right? Very easy process, right? In the meantime, we can do all the agentic magic, but in the end, you just given access to your mailbox, to all your systems, to search, and also to your databases like CRM, because you wanted to check whether the client is already in your CRM or not. And remember, you just gave access. What security is there between, right? What are the limits of such agents if they are steered by another company? So again, if we are using the agents that are available on the market, immediately, if you want the agents to work, you need to grant them access. And no one right now is discussing, at least not widely and open, I mean, not very openly, what to do if we want to use agents, but we want to do it in a secure way. So experts for that will be in a very high demand. Also for data, let's not forget them. While we are still focusing on the next new thing, for now it will be AI agents. All the eyes are on AI agents and also on robots, right? But still, underneath, we have data, and the biggest businesses, except for security right now, are being done on data. Let me just share you one example of Alexander Wang's company. It's called Scale AI. He started very easy work, very easy job, solving problem for companies that didn't want to do data analysis, and they didn't want to annotate the data. So he was taking data, annotating it for companies using employees that were like on and off, or some freelancers as well, and he made billions on that. And right now he's like a self-made billionaire on like a level of almost $10 billion. It's like crazy money in like what, 2 3 years only. So remember, always think, once you understand what AI is about, that's why I suggest taking my course, because all the elements are there. I mean, the one on LinkedIn. You need to understand what elements are underneath each technology, including agents, to know what will be the element that will be necessary for everyone. So here, instead of like selling gold or looking for gold, you are selling shovels, right? So we are talking about technology that is necessary for everyone, so everyone will buy that, so there is money in it. Okay, so I mentioned AI success, where money flows. Yes, done. Now career options. With career options, let me just direct you towards one of the best reports that I know for 2025 is the one from LinkedIn for United States, and two spots on top were taken by artificial intelligence engineer and artificial intelligence consultant. So with AI engineer, I'm not surprised, because it has been there for many years. But now we have AI consultant, and this AI consultant is the position that I just mentioned. So the companies need advisory. They need to find themselves in this increasing, like the number of AIs is increasing day by day, and the functionalities. Remember, within one tool, for example, 11 Labs or OpenAI, you have like, or Gemini, you have so many tools under one brand that it's so easy to just, lose attention and not know what was the latest what was their latest latest novelty that could be beneficial for your business. So who else is necessary in businesses? AI managers, AI product managers, so people who are leading those AI transformation projects and AI projects, AI consultant, AI advisor per industry. This is kind of important. You need to be aware that those advisories should be within certain industry. So we can't say that I'm a generalist in AI. This time is finished. And I'm glad, because to do efficient AI, I always say that you start with the business problem and you start with business understanding. Otherwise, you will suggest something that maybe works in a different industry, but not necessarily in this, because you don't know this industry's struggles. So again, if you want to be a consultant, you need to choose one particular industry. And in a moment, I will also show you that you should add not only an industry, but also a particular technology you want to be proficient in. The third position is industry expert using AI for work. So, for example, right now we have AI, we have marketing experts with AI, or content managers with AI, right? So, people who learned how to use AI in their particular position. I've shown you that, for example, communication manager, right, with AI. Then data expert, because it will be necessary in all the companies, and majority of companies that I know, their data is a mess. Then implementation and advisory on AI agents. Yes, I told you that because, like, you build agents. Either you buy them from the market, but obviously they will not be like as flexible and as adapted to your company needs as potentially possible, right? So we wanna, and companies wanna build their own agents, right? So they need advisory on that, and they need hands-on people who do those agents for them. So many companies are right now being built on the basis of using no code, but also low code frameworks to build AI agents for companies. Then experts in AI transformation, testers are super important, because for all the AI tools you need to test them inside the organization, inside with the data that company possesses. Then ethical AI and regulation experts, especially in Europe, or for companies who want to work in Europe, because with AI Act right now being implemented right in Europe, you need to have experts on both ends. So if you're a supplier or a company like taking an AI on board, you need to know what you can do and what you can't do in AI in Europe for AI. Then outplacement and change management within companies. Companies, guys, will change, and someone will need to redo their processes, advise them on how to do outplacement, so how to fire or lose people potentially. And with change management, how to change, for example, organizational culture. So it includes robots. And last but not least is, of course, robotics. It's kind of somewhere there in the future, but already the people who would build businesses around robotics, and it will take them 2 to 3 years to scale. For example, like a company who would be fixing robots, right? It's one of the best businesses that would be out there in 2 3 years. And yes, let me just mention that while you're choosing or becoming an advisor or a consultant, you must remember that it's like you are not a generalist. You are adding to AI, you are adding your knowledge for specific industry. This is how it works. So you need to know something about business. And please do remember that while we are talking about like this no coding tools, people think that prompting is no coding ultimate solution. It's not. what we are after and what companies are willing to pay for, again, so we are talking about career options, is no code building, not prompting. Prompting is a commodity. It's something that everyone should know. It's like using internet or using a particular software. It's kind of easy, right? No one will pay you for that, maybe for the next year or two, but not in the longer run. So they will pay you for no code building, local building, or hard code building, meaning that you need to have this capacity to build something with, for example, AI agents. So with those pretty obvious stuff like prompting, don't expect that it will last. And we are back to agents, guys. With agents, I already mentioned that we have several levels of agents. The most basic stuff that we do know, and sometimes people call it agents, are chatbots, so LLMs, right? They do reasoning, but they are not agents per se. Agents are where you connect several elements into a coherent process. So, for example, we might say that on the scale of autonomy, co-pilots, assistants are somehow, somewhat AI agents. People call it more like AI workflows. So we have a process that is usually the same, it's repeatable, and we put machinery, so software that is interconnected, and do the sequence of steps. It has a memory, it has some reasoning, it has some tools. But to be quite clear on that, when we are talking about agents, AI agents, we should be using the name when we have the process with the tools, with the full memory, and with the planning. What does it mean? Is that if you design the process, it should be somehow not only linear and not always the same. You should give some space for decision making or for reasoning to an LLM or to one of the elements inside your agent, right? So it should have some kind of like decision making capabilities. Of course, when people are thinking agents in the future, they are thinking fully autonomous agents. For that, us experts, we are not sure if this is a good idea. This is possible. This is possible to do within your organization, but I'm not sure if it's the smartest way to handle. Because like with again, I believe that at one point, like with all the hallucinations, with all the sometimes AI not understanding, and giving it too much freedom and not analyzing what the agent is doing and not having, like, hands somewhere there to stop it. It's kind of dangerous, right? So with fully autonomous agents, we need to have additional technology for security, for checking, maybe two levels, one level of agents doing, one level of agents checking, another one that is like checking the agents that is checking. Who knows, right? We are not there yet. So we are more like imagining how fully autonomous agents might look like. We are more like with on the level of agents with guardrails. So with agents, let me just give you one simple example. When there is a question, there is an email coming into our system, and with triage, it's already an agent. It understands what the email is about, and then it can direct the email and the question towards a process, starting a certain process within organization and doing it again automatically, right? You build those boxes on your own, and you decide how you want this workflow to work. But please do remember, automation, again, is something else than AI workflow. With automation, all the sequences work exactly the same. There are no LLMs inside. With AI workflows, we add an LLM. So an LLM can read something for us, understand, come up with a plan, come up with steps, right? But it's more like I would say linear. it's kind of simple. The real agent, and it's nothing wrong with that. AI workflows are the majority of AI agentic technology right now implemented in companies. It's good. It's good. But we need to differentiate it from real AI agents that are a bit, let me say, more flexible, right? So they are non-deterministic. They decide, they do stuff. Hence, building them and designing them requires more experience and more knowledge. So majority of tools that you do know, if you heard about AI agents, are in AI workflows, right? With AI automation, again, you can use the tools and you can ask the tools to do also the ifs. So if that, do that. If that, or else, start another path. With AI agent, we do have a memory, right? So the system remembers what was the previous answer or what was the previous email, from example, for example, from this particular client. Also, it can access tools, and not necessarily all of them. So it can go somewhere. Let's think about like that. It can go somewhere, do some stuff, activate a system that it's connected to the agent and to like certain sequence, and then come back with an answer. And this is like with AI or with AI agents, it's like you give it more flexibility. It's more prone, of course, to wrong decisions and to mistakes. That's why designing AI agents and addressing it for companies is so important, right? Again, with AI agents, we are using the technology to do more stuff for us than simple agentic workflow. And on top of that, we can use, for example, agentic RAG. There is a lot of confusion. I'm showing you that intentionally. So there is a lot of confusion. Which is what? So okay, so should I do AI agents, or should I do AI automation or AI workflow? Which tools should I use? Like agentic RAG? Should I use it instead of RAG? Should I connect it somehow? Then again, we are getting to the level of agentic workflow, which is even more complicated than just AI agents. With agentic workflow, imagine several agents working together, right? So imagine like a group of agents that are interconnected, and they give to each other information and instruction, and they create a specific flow. So again, you design agentic workflow, and this is the future. With AI agents, it's just one agent. With agentic workflow is a whole process. And with agentic workflow, so the place that we want to get and companies want to get, it's not that easy to build, because with agents, you need to also think about security, about Internet of Agents. Let me tell you, let me tell you, let me talk to you about that in a moment. With agentic products, companies don't know the simple thing that the level one are ready agents. So there are certain products on the market that are called AI agents. For example, it's a simple product, Glean, right? You can just use it. It's based on agent. It does some stuff for you. Not necessarily you need to build it, right? So these are ready agents doing some stuff for you, and they're called AI agents. So it creates a lot of like confusion. Level two is agents for parameterization. So what is that? Like you buy an agent. One of the nice examples is, for example, 11 Labs. If you want to parameterize the voice agent, you have some level of let me say flexibility how you want to design it. However, you are not getting into designing a full agent. You are like more like adapting the agent to your own needs, right? Which is kind of cool. Again, this is an agent. It requires some work on your end. Then level 3, which is building agents on the basis of no code. One of the examples is, of course, relevance. The other one is an A10. I will be running a course on that very near. Sorry, very in just a couple of days, actually. So you are using no code frameworks to build an agent exactly as you want it, and then you get to level 4, which is building agents on the basis of low code. Some people call it code. I don't call it code. It's like, if you are using frameworks like Crew AI, or something from LangChain, right? Then you are using low code, because this is a framework and you are just adapting stuff inside. You are not creating an agent from the very beginning. And the 5th level is exactly what I mentioned in a moment. It's like creating agent, building agent exactly as you want. This is very rare. What if, for example, if you are a coder, this building agents low code would be the best choice. But what I'm saying is that for companies right now, they need to understand those 5 levels, and they need to know that they can probably within their organizations, they will have some ready agents, some agents for parameterization, and that they will need to update somehow. Then they will have some agents that would be designed by their own employees, no code, and there will be some agents that require more work on the basis of low code. And most probably, if they want something really specific, they would need to build it. So they will have 5 level of agents where you have products here, products here, products here, products here, right? And it's very easy to get lost. So with agentic careers, again, it's like very specific work needs to be done in companies right now at the stage of agentic, agentic development, which is first an advisor. And it's like, it's not only choosing the framework or selecting the product or saying, okay, here you could do an agent. It's like picking the process that is ripe for AI automation. I mean, that is ripe for AI agent. Not all processes are. So you need to advise, you need to help companies select it. And for that, they need to be convinced by calculating ROI for updating this process. I mean, updating this process with AI automation, with AI agents, right? And the same, when companies are thinking about AI agents, they want to know how much money they will make on it or how much money they might save. So again, calculations, and also showing to companies how could they monetize the agents, right? It's one of the most sought after job right now. Then fine tuner. So please do remember that with agents, you need to fine tune them with data that are inside the organization, right? So someone needs to do that, or advise how this should be done. Then builder or designer, and we are also talking no code. So most companies, they don't want to build it inside. They just want to have some kind of consultant, freelancer, who will build those AI agents no code for them, or design at least the process that the company might adapt for their own needs. Then we have, with all the products that are being built right now within agentic space, they will need some representatives, they will need some accounts. And like the faster you were, for example, talk to, like, let's not look like further than we already mentioned, like for example Crew AI, right? Just they will need like solid representation all around the world, right? And they are not that popular yet, right? But they will. So representatives for that will be definitely in high demand, and the same, for example, for Salesforce, like with their agentic force. And then we have product builder. So we need people, and people are necessary to build startups on the basis of agents, and it's already happening. We have a couple of students that learn with us, who already created their own startups on the basis of AI agents they decided are necessary for a particular industry. How does it work? Remember, you don't need to just use the stuff that are over there on the market. Of course, you don't want to copy what's in there already, right? We want to look for a niche. So if you are an expert in a particular industry, look for a niche and then decide, okay, there are no agents for this particular task. It's always easier for a company to buy it from you than to build it from scratch on their own. So they might pay you for that, and in no time, on platforms like, there is an AI for that, there are platforms for that. I don't have time to show it to you now, but there are several platforms that are showing AI agents, and we are not talking what we are not talking a couple of we are not talking thousands or hundreds of thousands of agents yet, but it will happen very soon, because again, it will be like a marketplace where you go to, you look for an agent that you want, you pay certain amount of money for it, for you to be able to use it, or for being able to download it. So product builders will be like builders of smartphone applications, like, let's say 15 years ago, right? Very profitable business. So I mean, like, agentic product builder. Then security, because like even with 5 to 10 agents all together, they create some kind of sometimes breaches in security, and the same, coming up with ways how to do it in your organization, not giving too much access, but on the other hand, make it accessible. So this is something that people still don't know how to handle that, because we want to give access, but we don't want to give access at the same time, right? So quite interesting space. And the seventh element that I want to share with you is Internet of Agents. For that, it will be super stuff. It will be like it. Oh my god, it will be huge. It will be like super huge, right? Because again, you don't want one agent. You want 5 agents? No, you want 5,000 agents in your organization, right? Because like within certain post, within certain position, you will have hundreds of agents working for you at the same time. You need to steer them, you need to update them, you need to retrain them, you need to have them securely stored. You need to know when they fail. You need to know when they start hallucinating. You need to know how are the connections with them. They produce data, so how the data are being stored. So again, imagine we are talking about this net of agents working together, and adding additional node to this net makes the net even more complicated, right? So Internet of Agents will be one of the cool topics of definitely second half of 2025. It's not being visible yet because companies have one, two agents maybe. In the future, they will have hundreds, and someone will need to manage that, and they will need to be managed on the basis of agentic ops. Agentic ops, there are no books for that yet, but they will be published probably within a couple of months. So again, how to do the operations, how to do the platformization for agents. Super cool topic, very new one. And let me just finish, because I know that we don't have much time. The third element for AI success is fast track success strategies. So how to get there faster than others. Let me just give you seven small clues. I hope you will find them. You will find them interesting and useful, and prepare your questions, because just in a couple of minutes we will finish. So the first one is, don't waste your time on general AI. Find your industry that you are already in. So if you are in banking, choose banking. If you're in hospitality, do that. If you are in logistics, the same. Again, you are like adding to what you already know, you are adding AI, and you are adding also department. So what it means, I suggested you become an expert in a very particular narrow field. So how it might work, you are an HR, so this is department, expert in banking in AI, right? So this is how it works. And then companies or organizations know that they want you for this particular element. And within this element, you should know all the technologies that are there, right, for this particular job. Also, agents, you should have some strategies and processes, what kind of agents could work on this in this particular narrow field. And then it's a like, if you are too general, people will think, and companies will think, okay, they don't know enough about my business to be successful and to help me out, right? So I wouldn't risk with that. The second strategy is embed yourself in AI. I strongly suggest that you spend a couple of next weeks or hopefully months in AI. Don't do it instead, do it within. So I suggest I always encourage buying some high quality headphones, and listen, and just look whatever you can while you are putting on your makeup, while you are cooking, while you are commuting, or while you are doing additional stuff at home. So use this time to catch up on AI. And the third thing is to learn, right? Unfortunately or fortunately, but you can't escape that. You need to learn AI logic and AI agents basics. You just need to know that. I'm not saying that it should take you, I don't know, 2 years studies. No, I'm talking about, like, I don't know, 1 2 weeks, maybe up to a month, and just learn the basic blocks that will not be changing. The fourth element is focus on some products. So it's like, with this amount of products that are available on the market, you should focus just on some, because others are very very similar. So know the names of the competitors, but you should choose maybe one, two, three, up to three, I would say, um, tools for a specific task, right? So with this focusing on products, you don't need to then to chase after every new product, because you know, just a couple of them. For example, market leaders, right? It can work well. The fifth suggestion is to look at companies' maturity level. Let me remind you that at certain maturity moments, levels, companies need different things. Here they will need more advisory. Here most probably they would be hiring, so they will need some help in recruitment. They will need some help in monetization, and also in support and maintenance, here with more like implementation, data cleaning, data preparation, selecting the right agents, right? So depending on where company is, they will have different needs. Then stay up to date, but not to go crazy. How not to go crazy in this AI fast world? It's I suggest that you don't need to like wake up and immediately start your day with AI. You don't need to do that. If you like it, yeah, cool, that's a good strategy, but weekly summaries are enough. You can find it all over Twitter, I mean X, or on Reddit, or on LinkedIn. You can find weekly summaries for AI. There is like plenty of them. And just spend one day to catch up, to see what's going on. Follow sensible people. Yes, if you don't understand what a person is saying, don't follow. the person, right? No, no, it should be simple language, straight to the point. Then use reasoning models and search. This is how it works. I'm using an example of DeepSeek. They have like this option for deep think, which is like the reasoning model and a search, right? So if you click on them, the model would be doing stuff for you with deep reasoning and with search, right? So for that, you can use the model for learning and for asking, okay, what has been going on in AI in this particular field, and this in this particular, for example, specialization. So for example, for a specific department, what's going on, help me out and prepare for me like a summary, or prepare for me some suggestions. Then you can build your own AI agents to be up to date. Again, we are minimizing your work and your effort to stay up to date. You want to stay up to date, but you want to don't want to go too far with time and money investments. And then select the new stuff. What does it mean? It's like you need to have this capability to understand what's new and what's not new. For example, if Jensen is saying that they are updating their project Groot, right? That was announced basically a year ago at the GTC. It's nothing new. It's like, okay, so they are continuing the project, right? However, what they announced is about recreating the Earth, or like creating this is kind of cool, creating a digital twin of Earth, right? This is kind of new. Oh, interesting. Or for example, completely new thing was this biological computer, using human cells, right? So this is new. However, another LLM like Quen or Manus, or any other LLM that might come to your mind, for example, the one from Baidu, it's like, okay, it's good to know, but it's not any revolution, right? Then, and the last one, this is the last one, be ready. It's like, I know many people that they are like studying AI, but they are like always learners, right? So they are not ready to put it into action because they think that they are not ready yet. And it's true, but the sad truth is that they will be ready never, right? This world is spinning like crazy, and there is no time to hesitate. Either you want to be an AI or not. And to be honest, you don't have that many options, because you just need to be there. You just need to be there to be up to date, right? Everyone will need to get into AI at one day, earlier or later. So, a couple of points here. First of all, be up to date with AI in your industry. So, for example, if anyone asks you about what's going on with AI in banking, you need to know that, right? You need to know the product, you need to know what's going on, you need to know how the latest advancements are influencing your particular industry, right? Because ultimately, you want to show yourself as an expert in AI for this industry. Then be ready to raise a hand for AI. If anyone asks in your organization, okay, do you like, who knows something about AI, you need to be there to raise a hand. Many people don't raise a hand, and they are like, oh, I knew the answer, but I didn't raise my hand because I was worried that I don't know, people will laugh at me, I will feel like look stupid because I didn't have the full answer. Raise a hand if you know some stuff about AI. Even after the course that we organized, it's good enough to say, okay, I know something and I'm willing to do more. Then prepare surprising AI insights. It's a kind of cool strategy that worked for many of our students and work colleagues. They are like, when someone is discussing the state of AI, you should have your own opinion on that, right? You should know, for example, with GTC, with what's going on with NVIDIA, how it will most probably affect the utilities sector, or the finance sector that you are working in, right? You don't need to have it like within 24 hours. Like be be prepared for like a couple of days after, or maybe a week. And if someone starts the topic, you would be able to draw conclusions, not to just cite from the article some kind of a fact, but already you can translate the facts into useful elements inside your organizations. For example, I'm not fully loving what Jensen Huang did on his latest conference, because it brings this kind of security issues, for example, for our industry, right? And then like if you have that, people will say, oh yes, yes, that's smart, this person knows more than just providing facts on AI that everyone can access. And last but not least, prepare elevator speech for some AI improvements. This is one of the most useful strategies I advise and encourage to do. It's like, what is that? You know what elevator speech is, right? Very short, up to 3 minutes. Like a short speech when you propose some ideas to boss, or like a board member that is in an elevator is going up or down. 3 minutes, and you have this 3 minutes to describe the idea. If the person likes it, they will invite you for more. If not, you need to try once again. So for AI is exactly the same. Companies, they are not interested in AI, guys. They don't care whether it's AI, X, Y, M, N, or whatever like abbreviation is there, right? Doesn't matter. For them, what matters is operational efficiency. So they are looking for AI products, AI solutions, and something that will work in their organization. So the elevator speech should be within those departments. I noticed that we could implement some agents because they could give us up to 30% of savings. And you should be ready to support your statement with some additional information, article, or material that you have read. And it's usually enough to start to raise the curiosity among decision makers, right? But if you don't have it, it will be very difficult to start with explaining, okay, by the way, I can explain to you what agents are, and while you explain how it could potentially affect the company, the person is already not listening to you, or is somewhere else. So again, prepare them. You can inspire yourself with what is there online, or you can talk to, of course, one of the reasoning models that can suggest you some cool options. And I suggest, this is like a short list of good applications that you should know. Some people ask us for that, so we prepared it for you. It's like families of AI solutions, AI products that are right now. I wouldn't say they are the best, they're the most popular, the most widely used. So it's worth knowing them. So when I said that you should know some products, or at least one, two, I suggest know one, two from each of those groups. It will take you a while, but take your time. Start from the elements, from the families that are closest to what you do. Now, for example, with marketing, probably it would be worthwhile starting with one LM with some pictures, and maybe with some maybe also with some videos, right? Or maybe with voice, depending. And I suggest that if you are like confused with what you see here, start with mastering one LLM. So start with one LLM. You don't need to know all of them, because to be honest, they're like, right? I know probably some people will hate me for that, because they will say that my personal favorite is, and it's so unique. Guys, it's not unique. It's an LLM with reasoning inside. So the logic is exactly the same. Of course, it differs. To some questions, it will give you more or less accurate answer, but let's not pretend that it's something that it's not. It's just an LLM, and I suggest that since those families, like for example OpenAI, so ChatGPT, or the family of Claude, or family of Gemini, they are huge, right? It's good to know it. So just pick one, the one that you have access to, and just check what's available and learn this one particular tool, because most probably all the others will have very similar functions. Okay, I'm finishing now. I know it was a rough 1 hour and a half. I promise there will be a lot of information. So if you stayed until the end, congratulations, you learned a lot. And let me remind you, if you want a free access to my course for tech leaders, super important stuff that you need to know. Send me a direct message on LinkedIn. And again, this is access, I mean QR code to my LinkedIn. If you again, if you want to take part in our draw, send me also a direct message on LinkedIn saying webinar, and we'll have free access tokens to LinkedIn Premium for some of you. We'll see. There will be a little bit of luck, right? So, guys, I'm waiting for your questions. I'm looking forward to hearing from you on LinkedIn. If obviously you don't have your question now, you'll be listening to us later. Just connect with us, connect with me, ask questions. And now let's move on to questions that you might ask during our session. So stop sharing my screen now, so I can see you and I can see your questions. Okay, if there are no questions, then probably you are processing information, and the questions would appear later. And if that is the case, guys, I would like to thank you so much for your attention and for being with us today. Take your time, process information. If you want to get additional links, additional information, if you'd like to hear from us about the specific element that you have heard today, let us know and we'll gladly help you. In the meantime, from LinkedIn headquarters, let me send you a lot of warm thoughts about AI, and the belief that there is a space within AI world for you and for planning your career. And I'm pretty sure that you will find a nice safe spot for yourself. The only thing you need to do is you need to start your journey. And I do hope that this journey will be for 2025 also an agentic one. Thank you so much for today. Have a good day. Have a good night, depending on the region that you are coming from. And I would say, stay well. Let AI be with you, and let's stay in touch. Bye, guys. Thank you for today.